Awesome. Our presentation is about bullying, what it is, why it happens, and most importantly, how we can stop it. And so, that first question: what is bullying? Bullying is defined as a repeated, systematic efforts to inflict harm through physical, verbal, or social attacks on a weaker person. I bolded repeated here because a lot of, I think, everyone at some point kind of has something mean said to them, or um, someone does something that we might think is mean, but that's kind of just that. As much as that sucks, it's still pretty normal. But when it becomes actually bullying, when these cruel attacks are being repeated over and over. And there are 4 types of bullying. The first one is physical, and that's, I think, probably what a lot of people may think of when they hear bullying. That's other kids beating up other kids, slamming them into walls, pushing them around. Pretty straightforward. Verbal, kind of like we see here in this picture of this lovely kid yelling at this little girl. It's always calling people names, insulting them, making fun of what they're wearing, making fun of their hair. I don't know, anything that I guess involves any kind of verbal attack. And relational bullying, that is kind of when you maybe like segregate someone, or refuse to hang out with someone, or let someone kind of hang out or sit by you, or you really relational bullying is really when you go out of your way to make sure someone is not included, and knows that they can't be a part of your group or be your friend. And cyberbullying is one we're probably all familiar with. We've all heard a lot. It's kind of a newer form of bullying compared to these first 3. That's just any kind of bullying over any kind of device or media, such as social media, through text, making mean comments on someone's picture or video, or whatever. So now we know, what kind of bullying there are, but what exactly makes our person a bully? What causes someone to act out in this aggressive and this mean way? It is definitely something that has always been around, but it's definitely a lot more than just something that happens, or kids being kids. I think I've heard that a lot when kids bullying another kid. It's kind of, some people might just look at it and that's just normal. That's just what happens when you're growing up. And so even though it is a normal thing, it does happen, does not mean like it's okay. There's definitely things we should do to stop it and prevent it. But knowing, and one thing we can do to help prevent it, is knowing what contributes to bullying. And so that can help us recognize some signs of potential bullying, and act on it and stop it before it gets bad. So there's a list here of the different kind of causes that, or factors that can contribute to a child or anyone really becoming a bully. And it's usually when someone is a bully, there's more than just one thing contributed them to acting this way. The first factor I want to talk about is them feeling powerless in their own lives. They might feel kind of a lack of something in their own lives. This is we always kind of hear about people who bully being self-conscious. And it's kind of what this is talking about. They feel like they can't, they may feel like they're too they may feel like they're not smart enough in something, or they're not good enough at some other activity. So to make up for that, they might take out some of that frustration or that powerless feeling. They might take that out on somebody else. Another cause is that they themselves are being bullied. They might, in their home life, a child might be bullied by an older sibling or their parents, or maybe in another class there's a kid that's bullying them. So they kind of like I guess to take revenge, since they may feel like they can't take revenge or go against their bully. They'll find someone that they think is less powerful than them, or smaller or weaker in any way, and they'll bully them to kind of take out some of that frustration that they themselves are feeling. Another cause is jealousy. A child might see someone who has like a pair of shoes that they want. That's a kind of real small example, but they see that, they're jealous, and they know they can't have that, so they take out some of that frustration on the person who has what they want. Another factor is a lack of understanding or empathy. This has a lot. You can see this a lot when we see bullying against people who may be of a different race or religion or sexual orientation. The bully doesn't understand why a person acts or looks a certain way, and they refuse to kind of to try and understand this person, their point of view and their thinking, or just why they are the way they are. Another factor is looking for attention. A bully might just feel neglected or ignored, so to get attention from adults or their peers, we see that a lot with them trying to get attention from other peers. They'll pick on someone so they can have that attention focused on them. Dysfunctional homes is another factor. Kids who have a rough home life that cause a lot of frustration and anger and emotional problems, which they might feel they can't take out or they can't express in any healthy way at home. So that can cause them to come to school angry and frustrated, and take them out on other kids around them. Another one is you just needing to be in control. Again, kind of similar to like feeling powerless in their lives. They feel like they need to have control over something, and in a case of bullying, that control would be control over another person that they'll try to get. Another one is they get rewarded, not like an adult or someone rewards a bully for bullying, but an example is if someone pushes another kid into a locker so they can get their lunch money, the reward in this case would be the lunch money. The bully is gaining something from his bullying. They'll start to like that, or they'll want more. Another one is just real straightforward. They just don't care how others feel. They lack that, lacking that empathy, and just having like a disregard for other people's feelings. And the last one has a lot more to do with mental health and their own emotional state. There's a lot of kids, they struggle to regulate their emotions. They may not have been taught how to calm themselves down when they're feeling angry, or how to properly express when they're feeling sad. So to express these emotions, they take it out on their peers.
Okay, so some of the consequences of bullying for the victims. Bullying can have a variety of both short-term and long-term effects for the victims. Some of the effects of bullying for the victim can be social isolation, changing in eating habits, whether that be binge eating or skipping meals, low self-esteem, anxiety and depression, avoidance of school, not wanting to do kind of social activities and be around people, feelings of shame, and psychosomatic symptoms such as headaches or stomach aches, things that physically bother them, but there's no medical cause for why they're feeling those things. And this is something I just found interesting in my research, that kind of talks about how huge of a problem bullying is. According to the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, bullying affects 20% of high school students, and cyberbullying affects 16% of high school students. The CDC also found that 33% of students ages 12 to 18 who reported bullying at school, and 27% of students aged 12 to 18 who reported cyberbullying, indicating that they were bullied at least once or twice a month. Middle school reports the highest rate of bullying at 25%, which is at least once a week. So I found that pretty shocking, what an issue bullying is and what it can be, and how prevalent it is in young developing children. So strategies to prevent bullying and to promote empathy and respect. I just did a quick definition of empathy, which is the ability to understand the emotions and concerns of another person, especially when they differ from one's own. So some things that we can do, we can make sure that our child's emotional needs are met. It's really difficult for kids to treat others kindly if they are not feeling loved themselves. So if they don't feel good about themselves, it's easier for them to be envious of others around them who maybe they see are getting their emotional needs met. Another thing we can do is ensure kids can identify and share their feelings. So when our children are able to express how they feel, they're able to identify the feelings that they have in others as well. Encouraging kids to explore other perspectives. So this is teaching our kids different point of views and how others might feel in their situation. This can help our kids also grow and develop their emotional intelligence. We can teach children to find common ground with others. Research shows that kids are more likely to feel empathetic towards someone if they can relate to how a person might feel. And talk to children about how their behavior impacts others. So it's important as parents that we talk to our children about consequences for their behavior and encourage them to consider others before making decisions. Being empathetic or having high emotional intelligence is much more than just being nice. Empathetic children understand their feelings and use them to make decisions. They also understand others, can manage stress, and relate well to others. In the end, imparting empathy not only prevents bullying, but also prepares kids for success in life.